What we're going to be doing today is changing out spark plugs and wires, doing an oil change, cleaning out the engine bay, maybe doing a fuel filter, and then taking this puppy on the road. Today on Drink, Smoke, Build. What up, boys and girls? It is day 2 of the S-10 maintenance, and my parts came in. Big shout out to O'Reilly's. They are not a sponsor of the video, but that would be awesome if they wanted to be. Hint, hint. Anyway, you guys, weather's moving in, wind is picking up, clouds are moving in, it's supposed to get colder and start raining, so I am going to get this busted out. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is replace the spark plugs and the wires. Two things that I recommend to everyone when they're doing spark plugs and wires on any vehicle. Now, some vehicles have coil packs instead of the wires and distributors, but the principle still holds same. Every single wire, every single lead, you need to mark. If you don't mark them, you could get the firing pattern out of order and end up creating major misfires in your motor. So make sure you mark each cable with its position relative to the distributor cap and each individual spark plug. And then the second thing is, make sure that you spend the extra $2 at your auto parts store for a gapping tool to make sure that your gap on the spark plugs you buy is correct. Most of the time it is not. When you buy them straight from the store, they are not correct. I've done 2 already and they were way off. So let's check this one. It's supposed to be 0.045 and this one is 0.035. Literally 1/1000th off, which is a lot. So we just pry up just a tad until you get it to 45. There we go. And then do that to all of them. Place the plugs first and then the wires, make sure they're marked again, and then the rotor and cap last. Connect everything, crank it up. Let's get to it. And there you have it. We've changed out all the plug wires, the cap, and the rotor, gapped all the spark plugs to 0.045. And we're ready to give it a crank and see if she turns over and idles without dying. And it's still doing it. I don't know if you guys have any ideas. Leave them in the comments. Well, hello there. You may be wondering what we're doing under here. Well, the truck did not get fixed by changing the spark plugs and wires. So next, fuel filter. See if maybe that makes a difference. And we'll do that in time lapse. Let's go crank up the truck and see if that did it. All right, keep your fingers crossed. Ho ho ho! Oh no! Do it again. Yep, and it dies if I don't keep pumping it, or runs really rough, and dies. If you know what that is, please leave a comment and let me know. So there you have it. I've changed out all the spark plugs, all the wires, the rotor, the cap, the fuel filter, and it still won't run. Now, I did go through and do some research after I filmed all of that yesterday, and I found out that it is a common issue on these particular trucks, not just this motor, but on the fuel pumps for these trucks, for the pre-filter screen mesh below the pump to get clogged, and that's why it sputters like it does. So fortunately, I don't have a giant heavy metal bed that I have to take off to access the pump. I have a pretty lightweight aluminum bed that only takes 6 bolts to remove, and I can tilt that back and get to the pump. So once this weather passes through and we finally get some nice warm weather again middle of next week, I'll get back to that on part 3. Check that out, maybe replace the fuel pump if I have to, and hopefully that fixes the problem. If not, then we'll jump into a much more deep diagnostic search to try to find out what the issue is. Thank you guys for watching today. Don't forget, watch part 1 of this if you want to know the story of how I purchased this truck and the story behind it and what I want to do with it here in the future. That's down in the description, part 1. Also, make sure you guys leave your comments. If you find this content valuable or educational, make sure you like and subscribe as well. We'll see you next time. Peace.